Hello and welcome to this April 19th, 2010 video version of Invested Central's Chart of the Day. I'm Tom Boley, Invested Central's Chief Market Strategist, and it's my pleasure to provide you with today's Chart of the Day. This Chart of the Day is brought to you by StockCharts.com, simply the web's best financial charts. Well, today we are featuring the Dow Jones U.S. Financial Index. This is a little different than what we normally do. We are actually on Friday. We featured a short candidate for the first time in probably, maybe 4 or 5 weeks, and that was Citigroup. It was a financial, and what we saw was a reversal on Thursday on very heavy volume in many of the financial stocks, and that gave us a clue that we might be in for some additional selling in the group. Also on Friday morning, we had sent out our regular daily market chatter to our premier members, and we indicated that for those who wanted to be aggressive and perhaps play a juiced ETF, that the SKF might be appropriate on Friday morning. After that, you can see on the Dow Jones Financial Index the incredible selling that took place. There were a lot of folks who were blaming it specifically on Goldman Sachs and the news that came out, and while that is certainly truthful, the financials were already showing some cracks in their foundation on Thursday on the big reversal and heavy volume. The other thing that makes this whole Friday thing somewhat suspicious in my mind is that it was options expiration day, and there were a ton, and I mean a ton, of in-the-money calls that were out there and available on Friday for market makers to make a dent in terms of bringing down the value by selling the market off. Market makers are traders just like you and me, and except they have a lot more capital and they see the order flow, so it makes it a lot easier from that standpoint. But the selling that occurred on Friday no doubt helped save in the billions of dollars across all the market makers, across all of the index options, ETF options, individual stock options, and so forth. But looking at this now, and I know there are a lot of folks who like to play juiced ETFs or the leveraged ETFs. I do want to mention we have an event coming up on Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you haven't already checked out the details of that event, I encourage you to do so. You can go to investedcentral.com. Right on our home page, there's a link that'll take you in to some of the information that we're going to be talking about, and also here on the Chart of the Day page you'll find some information as well. But definitely check that out if you like to trade these juiced ETFs. On the S&P 500, for instance, you can play the SSO, which tries to provide a 200% return, or a doubling of the return on the S&P 500 on a long basis. If you want to short, you think the S&P 500 is going to go down, you can play the SDS, which attempts to inversely match the S&P 500 return at a 200% clip. So if the S&P loses 1% and you're playing the SDS, you actually can gain 2% on that particular vehicle. But anyhow, if you want to take a look at some of the additional details of the event that's coming up on Tuesday at 4:30, then check it out on our website. If you're looking to trade, say, the SKF, the one thing that I would indicate to you or suggest to you is that I don't know that I would go rushing in after all of the weakness that we saw on Friday. Instead, what I would do is look for any potential move to the upside to maybe round out a position in the SKF. You could start one based on where the financials ended on Friday, but really what I think you want to do is think about working your way into a position as we get up closer to the 300, maybe 302, 303 level on the financial index. To the downside, there is support down around 276, 277. So if we do drop down that far, that's where we would consider taking profits. I hope you've enjoyed our presentation today. Be sure to check out our Chart of the Day every day at investedcentral.com. While you're there, sign up for our free weekly Market Pulse newsletter and have the Chart of the Day emailed directly to you. Happy trading.